Have you ever noticed that some people, no matter what, always seem to attract money? It's like, how do they do it? Everything always seems to work out for them. They just seem to attract money no matter what. And did you know that your brain is actually trained to notice lack before it notices abundance, unless you train it to notice the other way around, to notice abundance before lack. And this brings me to today's video. I do a few things every day to kind of bring my mindset into the abundance state. And today I want to share with you 3 of those interesting things that I do every single day. And I want you to try them and to leave feedback and to tell me if they work for you. But I'm telling you, if you give them a try, they definitely will. Number 1 is I circulate money instead of hoarding it out of fear. And what do I mean by that? Simply put, you have to get yourself in a mindset that money circulates. Money is meant to circulate. Money is energy. When money was low, one thing that we always did was we would pay for someone to cut our grass. Money was low, the funds were low. We could actually, just go ahead and do it ourselves. However, knowing this principle of money circulating, and money is energy, you cannot hold on to this. It must circulate so everyone can benefit. Just by circulating, by hiring someone to do the grass for us, that's like something it's a luxury, right? We could easily do it ourselves. But what we end up doing is we hired somebody to cut our grass. And then by seeing someone do it for us, you also get the pleasure of being served. Your time is the most valuable, precious source that you could ever have. That frees up more time for us to do other things. We also gave back to someone else so the money can circulate and then eventually come back to us. Now, we didn't do this just so the money could come back to us. We did this because hiring other people is so important because we're helping that person pay for their bills. And in turn, we have beautiful grass. We have a beautiful lawn. So that's what I would just say. That was my personal example. Leave your personal example in a comment to tell me what you think about this idea of money circulating. It's okay, obviously, to save your money, but you cannot hoard it out of fear. It's the fear base that actually is what's blocking the abundance from coming, because the fear that you're saying is like, oh my God, I got to hold on to it. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it, versus I'm just going to be able to give it for free because it's just always going to come back to me. And this actually blends right into the second thing I do, which is kind of very similar to the first, the same mindset. As an entrepreneur, I don't do everything myself. If you're an entrepreneur like me, you understand that your business is your baby. And so it's very hard to let go and to delegate and to give other people responsibilities. Who's in there with me? I know it's so hard. It was very hard for me to actually kind of relinquish control a little. And then so basically what I ended up doing, and I found out that having this mindset, actually, it works for everything. One of my big things is, as a business owner, I was like, if I want my business to grow to the next level, I cannot possibly do everything myself. And so what does that look like for me? As a photographer, I hired an editor. At first, when I made the decision to hire an editor, trust me, the funds were not necessarily there. It was a very scary jump to do because I was like, okay, I'm making this much and it's not what I really would like to make, but also I'm overworked. So something has to give. And so what I ended up doing was I took the leap. I found an editor. She was wonderful, and she edited my pictures for me. And what came to my surprise is that hiring her actually doubled my income, doubled my revenue. And that was like the most surprising thing that out of it all, because I was like, I'm just doing this, but something has to give. And I was able to have more money to give to her so she can live. And then after, I'm making more money. So it was definitely a win-win. So if you're in that position as an entrepreneur and you're like, I really need help, but funds aren't necessarily there for me to be able to do it, take a chance and you will see like this law, this principle works, and the money that you're going to be investing and giving to someone else is going to come back to you tenfold. Now, the key is it's very important when you decide to hire somebody, you cannot hire them like, oh, gosh, I'm so upset, like I'm mad, I have an attitude that I actually have to hire somebody. That is not going to get you anywhere. You have to just center yourself and say, okay, I'm hiring this person because it's going to be a win for me. It's going to be a win for her. And I'm doing this for the growth of my business. And you'll see that it absolutely is going to come back to you 100%. The last thing that I'm going to say that I'm going to share with you is it might seem a little silly, it might seem a little woo-woo, but I make a gratitude list every single day. And the cool part, it's actually super cool, is when I write stuff down, I just basically say, I'm so happy and grateful that whatever. I can say that I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for everything that I have now. But what's so fun is you can also just say, I'm so grateful that I 10x my business revenue this month. I'm so grateful that I made $5,000 out of nowhere. It's up to you and your imagination. And the fun part is a lot of times when I write those things down, they happen. Some people say that you should just write them pen to paper. And I do agree. There's very much a energetic power to actually writing with pen to paper. But sometimes I understand that time is not on your side or you just are so busy. And so what I do is sometimes, and I've tried both, I do pen and paper if I have time. Sometimes I just write in my notes app and I'm just so grateful. This is just so funny. I just keep it to myself. I don't share with anybody because some of the things that I be writing are like really outlandish. But it's for me. It's for me. And then when some of those things happen, it's almost as if I was scripting my life. That is really, really so cool. And I definitely highly encourage you to at least give it a try. So you may feel silly at first, but honestly, it's so cool. A question that I get often is how many things on the list that I should write. Some people say 10. I personally just do what I'm inspired to do. Some days I just only write one thing. Some days I'm so inspired, I would just write 15. I've gone to 20. It just really depends on my day. But I just always at least write one. If it doesn't happen, that's fine. It's fine. I'm just basically training my mind to see abundance. And so that's the name of the game. And so I highly recommend that you try. Leave me in the comments if you something if you actually have. If you have done this and what are your results, I would love to hear them. Kind of just share with me and get this conversation going. It just really seems like it's outlandish, but I'm telling you, it works. It works. And if you want to know any more information or questions about that one, leave them in the comments as well. I'm very big on imagination and yeah. So definitely try that one. I'm just sharing the 3 today, but I actually have a whole list of 10 things that I do every single day just so I can not forget. Like I know them in my head, but I have a PDF that I do. And then every day I just check them off to make sure that I don't forget anything and to remind myself to be in abundance the whole day. It's a free PDF if you want to grab it. The link is in the description. And I would love for you to grab it and to start making those shifts yourself to the abundance mindset. It's just such a shame that the mind just naturally goes to lack faster and naturally to the lack versus going to the abundance. So our goal is to actually train our minds to start seeking and seeing abundance everywhere. And then this is where we're going to see that it's going to actually start coming back to us. So I hope these 3 things helped you today. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Take care.